Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Mnangagwa's hunger for power is insatiable. He has been in power at the center of government ever since the country's independence in 1918. That's now 45 years ago. The longer he has stayed, the more hungry he has become. He rigged 2023 elections. That point cannot be overemphasized. Zanu PF rigged the 2023 elections for the sole purpose of staying in power. SADC, the AU, and every other respectable election observer condemned those elections as flawed and illegal. In other words, Mnangagwa is illegitimate. And here is the ultimate insult to the people of Zimbabwe. He now wants to extend his illegitimate rule beyond even what the Constitution stipulates. And if necessary, he wants to deny the people of Zimbabwe the right to participate even in a rigged election. Because make no mistake about it, if the 2028 elections go ahead, Zanu PF will rig those elections. But because the law says, the Constitution says he cannot serve more than 2 terms, he has had to find a way around it. And this solution is to try to postpone the 2028 elections by hook or by crook. Some people have said that this factional war in Zanu PF is a distraction. It is more than a distraction. This is the cancer that is killing the nation. Zanu PF imposed itself on the nation. So whether we like it or not, they are ruling. And instead of managing the nation's affairs, they're busy looting. And this is what makes it so unacceptable. We are helpless to do anything about it. Corruption was bad during Mugabe's time. But I think many people will agree that after Mnangagwa took over, it has gone into overdrive. The nation is being looted at a breakneck rate. And if we are not careful, we'll end up with a situation where the looters have become so powerful, they are untouchable. Because one of the things that Mnangagwa is doing with some of the looted wealth is insulate himself, build up his political base by corrupting all the key people in the various constituencies and institutions, starting with his own Zanu PF members. He bought all the 300 Central Committee members a new car with his image on it. He has bought and is looking to buy even more cars for the soldiers. So far, he has delivered 102 and has promised to deliver altogether 700 new cars to Army senior Army officials. He has been bribing anyone and everyone whom he felt is important to push his political agenda of staying in power at all costs. Last year, the party held its party conference in Bulawayo. And the number one party resolution was that Mnangagwa should be allowed to stay in office until 2030. There is no doubt that Mnangagwa used his wealth to make sure that the delegates passed that resolution. In the next 2 days, the nation is holding its breath to see whether the party will reinstate that number one resolution, Agenda 2030 as they call it. God knows he has spent millions of dollars bribing all the various parties and individuals who would have anything at all to say regarding passing that resolution. Zanu PF is holding the whole nation to ransom. Whether the people care to admit it or not does not change the facts on the ground. And if Mnangagwa was to get this resolution, you will bet he will be pushing hard to get it implemented. And this is a party that has no regard for the law and what the people, ordinary people, want. It's only what they want that matters. And the bottom line of Agenda 2030 is to deny the people a meaningful say in the governance of the country. They started by diluting the vote to the point where, yes, we had elections. Yes, people went to vote. But the result was always a predetermined Zanu PF victory. We have enjoyed the right to participate in a rigged election. At least we still had that right. But with the passing of Agenda 2030, we will lose even that right. And Mnangagwa will have ultimate power. And that is the reality we cannot pretend to ignore. Zanu PF has dragged us back to where we were before independence. Before independence, one of the key demands was one man, one vote. or as Kwame Nkrumah put it, seek you first the political kingdom, and the rest will be given unto you. We wanted to have the political power. We wanted to have a meaningful say in the governance of the country. We never had it. What we had this last 45 years was a vote that was so diluted, it was meaningless, because the results were already predetermined, a Zanu PF victory. But now what Mnangagwa is proposing to do is taking away even that right to rig the election. So we are back to where we were before independence, where we have got to fight for one man, one vote from scratch. Zanu PF is a cancer to the nation, because instead of us making progress on making Zimbabwe a success, giving our people quality life, we have been dragged down this rabbit hole where we have had to sit twiddling our thumbs while Zanu PF fight each other for who is in control. If they were not fighting each other, they are looting. We really need to start doing something about it now. We really need to be clear, what is it we want? Some people have been seduced to believe that Chiwenga is fighting to stop Mnangagwa corrupting the constitution, to stop Agenda 2030. Yes, he is. But that just only so happened to coincide with his own selfish ends. Just as in 2017, he pretended that he was fighting to end the Mugabe dictatorship, when in reality he was fighting for his turn to be the next dictator. This is what he's fighting for again this time. And we should not be seduced into believing he's fighting in our corner. He's not. If we are seduced to join him, you can be rest assured that as soon as he secures victory, he will impose himself as the next dictator. What we must do is be disciplined enough to stand on our own platform. And our own platform is, we want to put an end to this Zanu PF dictatorship, and not to be replacing one dictator for another. We are standing on 2028 elections. Can only go ahead if the elections are free, fair, and credible. If they are not, which is most likely because no meaningful reforms have been implemented so far, then opposition is, we are not going to participate in another flawed election to give Zanu PF legitimacy. If we make that stand and refuse to be moved, we will force Zanu PF into a second GNU in which we can finally implement the reforms. It is not a far-fetched demand. It is a rational demand. As for Zanu PF itself, even if the resolution 2030 agenda is passed and the regime tries to maneuver so that the 2028 elections are postponed, we are going to fight to have those elections held as the constitutional requirement. We cannot, and we are not going to accept an illegitimate government extending its illegitimate rule by hook and by crook. That should be very clear. We are sick and tired of Zanu PF fighting among themselves while the country is going to the dogs. We are not interested in Zanu PF fights, but we are interested in ending the dictatorship. So we need to keep our eyes on the ball and never compromise on that issue. Participating in 2017 was a big mistake and one that we must never, ever repeat again. Think about it. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.